You gonna have a chance to talk to Maroon today, or? No?
I haven't yet.
Yeah. I mean, well, I don't know if you even do
Yeah.
that stuff as a coach.
Well, if I run into him, I mean, I'll see if I see him around, or he's on the opposition team now. So
Not quite the same, huh?
what's that?
Not quite the same.
Nope.
What did he mean to you and the team last season?
Well, a lot. He was a big part of us, and what we did. Scored a big goal. Scored a couple of big goals in the playoffs, and he's part of that winning team. Always will be. He's a great guy and great locker room guy, and we everybody liked him, and I thought he was really good for our team.
You seem to have a really good rapport and bond with him. Why is that?
I think I coached Patty in Philly as a kid, and I've known him for a while, I guess, and I just he's just a team guy. I really like that. He does a good job in the locker room and does what we ask of him, and I like the guy. He's a good guy, and he's a good team guy.
This is the year anniversary for you. I know you were a successful coach in Philadelphia, but can you reflect just the last year of your life and just how unbelievable it's been for you?
Yeah, it's been great. But I don't really think about the past, to be honest with you. I don't. I'm just focusing on now and moving forward. It was a great run, and we won, which is great, but it's over with now, and I just kind of moved on from it. But it's something I'll never forget for sure, obviously, and the whole time, the whole playoffs, and after the summertime, and so it was all great. Yeah.
Coach, when you look at Tampa, obviously they had that historic season last year. They look like they're kind of rounding into form now. What do you see from them?
Much of the same. They're a deep team. I look at their team. I think that they've added a couple new defensemen. Shattenkirk on the back end, which helps offensively. He's a good player back there with the puck and making plays. But they're a deep team, four lines. They're a solid hockey team, and they got the high end guys still. Nothing's changed there. Great. Their goalie. He's a type of goalie that can steal the game for their team anytime. Very good. So I don't see a whole lot of difference in their team. That run last year, that doesn't happen too often. But this is a good hockey team, real good team.
You're putting a line together tonight, Coach. It's that all Saskatchewan line, and kind of the first time that started together. I know they played a little bit together.
Yeah. I've been kind of mulling it around for a while. It's, we need to get a little bit more offense going. So we'll see what happens. But I've used them, in the past, late in games or periods and things, and they've done some good things together. So hopefully, that could be a real good veteran line. We got three vets on there. They, two centermen they can move around. So we'll see what happens.
Is it going to be interchangeable with Bozak?
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, especially with the face-offs and stuff.
Greg, Cooper talked to you at the awards in June about your season. You mentioned how a lot of things had to go right for you to win the cup. There's no secret formula to do it. But what kind of characteristics did you see from your team down the stretch there that really kind of made you feel that they had all the pieces, I guess?
Well, it's a good team on paper for sure. There's a lot of good players. Deep team. Defense was really solid. The goaltending was solid, obviously. But I thought our team really rebounded well from losses. Didn't let things bother them. Mental toughness was a big thing with our team. I thought that, over the course of the season, we got tougher and tougher mentally. We became a hard team to play against. And when, going in the playoffs, when you're a hard team to play against and you're mentally tough, you have a good chance. That doesn't mean it'll happen, but you have a good chance. Because you will not win if you don't play hard.
Greg, we noticed very few guys out there, none that'll play tonight. Do you have that schedule kind of baked in terms of rest for this year?
Yeah, we make decisions on, you know, the energy level and what our team needs. And, you know, we decided to stay off the ice today. You know, if you make it optional, 10 guys will go out, maybe more. So we just make decisions like that, keep guys off the ice today and save the energy for tonight.
Just wanted to follow up on Tampa, they're scoring almost 4 goals a game, just how do you slow them down?
Well, you got to be in a getting away of them. You know, you can't. They got good speed and skill, and if you don't get in the way and you're not committed to checking out there when they have the puck, and they're probably gonna do some damage. So we already talked to the team about being tight tonight, checking and being physical on them. That's how you slow them down. You got to be committed to doing that out there, and it's really important with the puck that you're not turning it over in certain areas because they're gonna take advantage of that.
And conversely, although they've been doing better lately, they even have more goals than you. You see some areas where you might have some opportunity.
Yeah, there's areas in every team. I mean, I think that they're trying to adjust a little bit and, you know, maybe play a little bit differently than they did last year, and maybe they're not quite as, you know, on page with that, but that's what I think they're trying to do. In saying that, like, you know, again, we gotta make sure we're disciplined tonight. Their power plays I think it's 1, 2, right in there in the league. So that's obviously always been a strength of theirs is their power play.
Is there anything you can do as a coach to help grow that area of a team, or is that mostly what players have to go through themselves or kind of find themselves?
Both, I think, you know, we gotta, you know, the coaching staff, we talk about it a lot, or we'll bring things up about it, but the players have to go through it and learn from it too. It's both.
You're coming close to the deadline to decide someone for Brower and McGinn. Just what maybe in your mind will be the determining factors in terms of what
Well, I think it's not entirely up to the coaches. It's, you know, obviously up to the management, Doug Armstrong. But, you know, we got a good look at these guys and see where their pace is and things like that, which is, you know, it's important. But, you know, I think it's just what we think we need down the stretch. You know, if something else happened injury-wise, you know, what type of player do we want? They're a little bit the same, but they're different in their own right. Brower's been here before. We know that. So that's just kind of it. We're just going to have to discuss it and see if it's, you know, worth keeping 1 or 2 of them, or, you know, what we think we need.
And you because obviously you had morning skates options. Have you seen enough of them to yourself and your staff to get a feel for?
Yeah, and they're both NHL players. They played last year in the league, so it's not like they've been out of the league for 2 years.